basically a fucking Pikachu. He's got better than Kaminari's power. He's gonna be in Kaminari's family because that's the only way he's gonna get that lightning quirk. He's gonna have normal. He's gonna have yellow lightning. I could have chosen blue lightning because that's what that's what lightning's supposed to look like. But no. So his skill set that he can use right now, that he's going to be able to use with this, his quirk, is a thunderbolt where he jumps up and covers himself in electricity going, ah! Then a bolt of lightning, a beam / bolt of lightning comes and shocks his opponent going, ah! Next, Electro Ball. It spins all around his body, then he puts it in his hand, blasting it forward. Next, Thunder Punch. He can use it as like a Chidori and all that crap. Like a sea. He can't use it as Kaminari does, so yeah. Then he can also use it. He covers it around his body and runs forward and boosts his speed and strength. That's pretty much it. So let's just go into the UA practical exams. He had a pretty, and his quirk doesn't really have a lot of back thing. Besides, if he uses too much lightning, he gets really destroyed. Like his body starts to cut a little bit. It starts to cut up, going choo choo choo. He gets a little cut marks after that. So let's just go into the UA entrance exam. When it starts, he goes, it spins around his body, going. Then he goes, Electro Ball. Then shoots it and hits a robot, exploding it. He goes, then he jumps in here going, Pikachu! Shooting a thunderbolt, going, he goes, then he goes and jumps when he lands off the ground. Oh yeah, he's got like Kaminari hair, but much more black on his head than just that yellow. Then when he falls down, he goes and pushes his foot to the right, and then goes, ah! Throwing another electro ball, destroying another robot. Well, everyone else just starts getting at it. He jumps in the air, front flipping, then going like a sea, then shoots another thunderbolt, then another one going, and after that he places first place. Oh yeah, basically that lightning that boosts his strength is kind of like a yellow one for all full cowling. He goes, ah! It's the Galarian. Basically, the next part is when he gets into class. Kaminari, Christian says, just don't embarrass me in class by going all pervy mode. He goes, gotcha. Instantly, when he sees Yairozu, Jiro, Uraka, he goes, whoa! Then Christian punches him in the head, going, what did I just say? I said, don't act simpy around everyone. There's so many other people in the world, and they probably don't like you. He can also use electromagnetic force to float. So he can float, going, ow, flip! So when he sits down, he's actually floating. He goes, Ida, he says, Christian. Well, he actually doesn't know him. Well, actually, he's from the list. He goes, Christian, get down from there. He says, what, I'm floating. Guys, does that break any rules to float? He goes, yes, it breaks 3 rules. 1, you're supposed to be in your seat. He says, I am in my seat technically. My seat's floating with me. He goes, ugh. He says, you're supposed to be on the ground. And Christian charges up an electric ball. He says, you wouldn't strike a classmate. He says, and you wouldn't follow that damn rule book. Then he shoots it past him, but then hits Deku in the face, going, argh! Christian goes, shh, I hit somebody. He goes, no swearing in class, or fighting in class. He goes, shut the fuck up! Won't you 4 eyes? Damn it! You're the one who made me do this! Baku says, I already like this guy. He's like me. He's always angry. Christian says, I heard that! He goes, how the hell can you hear me? He goes, I am way smarter than you, angry Pomeranian! He goes, Bakugo says in his head, yep, definitely don't want to be friends with him. And they go, ah. Deku says, Kacchan's finally found his match. Kinda scary. They go, ah. He says, shut up, Electro Hair. He says, you wanna go, 420 boy? He goes, how do you know that? He says, bruh, it says it in the school book. Literally says your birth and date. Dumb fuck. He goes, you wanna go? He says, yeah, I'll shock your ass. He goes, well, I'll explode you. He says, you wanna go? He goes, yeah. They go, yeah. Then Eraser binds them up saying, you two stop it. He goes, boy, you know you can get shocked by this, right? He goes, yeah, right. He goes, yeah. Electrocuting the scarf. He goes, Urta goes, he says, that's right. Then he goes, ah. Then he erases his quirk. He goes, God fucking damn it. Then Baku goes for explosion. Then Eraser also takes away his quirk. He goes, I can already tell these two are gonna be a handful. He goes, then Christian asks Aizawa, apologizing, saying, sorry, I didn't mean actually to do that, I was angry. He says, it's fine. He goes, I have one more question for you. Can I float? He goes, are you asking, like, is it a possibility that you can float, or is it, like, against the rules to float? He goes, I'm going with the second one, because I want to ask, is it against the rules to float? Because Four Eyes over there says it's not good. It says that's against the rules. But apparently, he says you have to be in your seat, which I was. And he says apparently I have to be on the ground. What the fuck? Hagakure could be literally out of the classroom right now. He goes, who's Hagakure? He goes, the invisible girl, goddammit. Then Christian floats to his seat going, ah. Then Uraraka sees and says, oh, someone else can float, but they don't have the side effects that I do. Uraraka says, excuse me, how can you float like that? He goes, electromagnetic force. He goes, oh, well I float from gravity, and that sucks, because I get dizzy. He goes, oof. Then Eraser says it's time for us to do the practical exam. Kind of. Not practical, but like the another exam to get into full-on UA. Except it's the Irrational Deception Test. It's his new name, Irrational Deception Test. They do the race first, and Christian versus Bakugo. Christian goes, rushing at lightning speed, going, He destroys Bakugo. Bakugo, hey, how'd you beat me? He says, my quirk's better, god damn it! They go, Bakugo, they go, then Eraser says, stop it. It's the first day and you two are already arguing. This is the second time. Next is the throwing. Bakugo explodes it far. Christian activates his lightning, so it'll go farther since he's much stronger in this. He goes, and throws it about 800 meters. Bakugo did 700 meters. He goes, damn it! Then Christian says, you wanna die, Pomeranian? He goes, now that I think of it, that kinda sounds messed up. Then Christian thinks to himself, wait a minute, that kinda sounds messed up. I'm not gonna kill a Pomeranian. That's a dog breed. I'm never gonna kill a dog. Everyone in the class is like, yeah, wait, he's not gonna kill a dog. So put your best face. Then basically he charged so basically Then Jiro and Yorozu look at Christian, then they look at Kaminari, and then ask him, "Is that are you two brothers?" He goes, "Unfortunately, yes." And he's the angry version, and better version somehow, because my quirk had a drawback, his didn't, and he has more abilities than his. They go, "Well, that's just sad. Like, honestly, I feel bad. Like, that shouldn't make any sense. He's got the much stronger quirk." He says, "Look, none of our parents have the quirk. They have the same quirk as I do. He got a way stronger one." He says, and also it's not really his ego that flares, it's his temper that flares. He doesn't really have a big ego at all. The other thing he tells him to do is not to embarrass him. He goes, "Well, do you sometimes embarrass him?" Christian says, "Yes, he does. He acts like a complete simp sometimes." And half of that is from his quirk, half of that is from his literal attitude. NLG. They say, "What does that mean?" He says, "Not gonna lie." "Duh, are you stupid?" Ah! Look, we're not even gonna go into the rest of the exam test, we're just gonna go into the thing. So when it starts, he goes, "It's Christian and Deku versus Bakugo and Ida." Christian goes, "I'm facing my worst enemies." Deku says, "These are your worst enemies?" He goes, "Technically, because me and Bakugo have an anger rivalry. Or who can get more angry?" Oh yeah, let's show Christian's hero costume. I can't really show it, but he's got a pretty good one. Especially something that can resist his lightning from shocking him too much. Kaminari says, "Hopefully his eyes don't start glowing or this is gonna get bloody." Kaminari is kind of worried about what the hell is gonna go on. Jiro says, "Kaminari, are you okay?" He says, No, I'm not okay. I'm not fucking okay." That's... Excuse me, I'm trying to record. So, back to this. So, when it starts, Bakugo for explosion. Christian grabs it and catches Bakugo's arm and then picks him up by his stomach and slams him, going, "Ah, eat that!" Then he activates his lightning, rushing fast. He goes, "Churr." Then Ida appears right next to him, going for a kick. He blocks it with not a lot of force behind that kick, but it's still strong. Then he flips Ida over, going, "Yeah!" Then he has his arm saying, "I'll rip your arms off if you don't give up." He says, "You know, it's not very hero-like," he says, "but this is." He goes, "Ah!" Electrocuting himself along with electrocuting him, Ida going, "Ah!" Ida goes, "Ah!" Then he stops and says, "I don't want to go for the bomb. I'm going to go watch Deku versus Bakugo." Then he's watching us fight. He's watching some Bakugo, looks at Christian saying, "Easy target, he's not even paying attention." He goes, "How about a stun grenade, Deku?" He goes, "How about a stun grenade, Deku?" Then yeets the stun grenade, and Deku dodges, but Christian doesn't realizing it's hit by the full brunt of it. He goes, "Damn it!" He goes, "I was just trying to what?" Then he goes, Bakugo says, "Yeah." Well, Christian's on the floor, knocked out, almost knocked out. It looks like he's knocked out. Then Deku goes, "Detroit," charging up a Detroit Smash. But then he gets a hand on his shoulder. He goes, "What the?" And sees Christian with a death look. He's still got his yellow eyes, but he's got a small, incy pupil, which is black. And his eyes are glowing. Kaminari gets a little nervous, saying, shoot, Bakugo's screwed." He goes, "You've done messed up now." Then he shoots a thunder beam. It's basically like it's like an orbital of electricity. He comes off with an orbital electricity around him, and then he shoots a beam forward, which is made out of electricity. He goes, "Ah!" Bakugo tries to counter it. He does, but it doesn't really do anything. Then it goes, Bakugo would go, it would be hit into a wall. Then he would go right after Bakugo, ready to destroy him with an electro ball. He goes, Deku's trying to hold him back, like, stop! You're gonna kill him! Then he shoots it. Then Deku would jump in front, blocking the brunt of the attack. He goes, Then Christian throws Deku into a wall, going, he goes, They say, oh my, you have to step in! Then Christian disappears, going, running up the stairs, seeing Ida. He goes, then he jumps, but then Ida doesn't even notice him. He's right behind Ida. Then he goes, then he puts Ida feels a hand on his back, then he gets shocked, going, ah! He goes, All Might's rushing over there, trying to get over to him. Then Christian, when All Might says, Detroit! Christian pushes Ida, then touches it, which actually hits Ida with the Detroit smash in the head. He goes, Smash! But then he releases some of the power when he realizes Ida's gonna get hit by it. A lot of the power, actually, so it's just a normal punch in the face. He goes, Then, but Christian touched the missile already, the bomb, so they pass the test. He goes, Autotron. Then he goes, Fire Style! Fireball Jutsu! Then he goes, I'm kidding, he wouldn't go Fireball Jutsu. So, after all the other matches, Christian goes home, and Denki says, I told you, you're not supposed to get mad too much. He says, look, I was just trying to watch the match, and Bakugo shot me with an explosion, so I had to destroy him. He goes, okay, look, that Thunder Beam was pretty cool, actually. You destroyed him, and I still kind of feel bad for him. That must have hurt. He goes, then the next day, when they come in, they don't really talk to him. No one really talks to him, except for Kaminari sometimes, because, well, yeah. Everyone is kind of scared to talk to him. Then they put on their hero costumes and head into the USJ. On the bus they say, who do you think's the strongest? He goes, Todoroki and Christian. He says, what about me, weird hair? He says, you lost the match against Christian and Deku. He goes, well, I actually beat him first. He says, no, you hit. Christian says, you hit me. I got back up, angered, shot you with a thunder beam, and absolutely destroyed you. You couldn't get back up. Your friend Deku had to freaking block your attack from me killing you. He goes, Deku! He says, why are you so mad that he saved you? But he says, Kacchan is kind of egoistic. He goes, don't call me Kacchan, you nerd! Christian says, this guy's annoying. He says, this guy is really, really annoying. He says, how do you deal with him? He goes, I don't know how I deal with Kacchan. Then when they arrive to the USJ, they're instantly attacked by villains. And that's it for this part.